Hello, this is Adam with Go by Go, and today we're going to install Pi-hole. So Pi-hole is a ad blocker. It's kind of a system-wide ad blocker, or as they say, network-wide. And basically, you can run this off of anything, as you can see here: Raspberry Pi, Debian, Ubuntu, Fedora, Docker containers, so forth. Today we're going to do it on a Raspberry Pi. I kind of borked my last one, so now I'm gonna repurpose another Raspberry Pi for this. And this has got to be the easiest thing in the world. You click install here. This will take a second, and it's pretty much just this right here. That's it. This whole command, that'll do it. So let's go over here. I'm gonna SSH into my Raspberry Pi. So we're gonna go here. I gotta remember the password I used for this. That should do it. Yep. So I'm in. So all I'm gonna do is paste that in. So it's curl hyphen S capital L, and the website install.piehole.net, and you're going to pipe it through bash. And this is pretty much how easy it is. You're going to run this, and I have the text a little big, so hopefully it won't cut things off. It is kind of cutting things off. Let me make this a little smaller. So there we go. All right, so right now I already have it on here, but we're just going to reconfigure. It's going to be the same as when you do it new. So we're going to hit OK, and it's basically going to pull down all the packages. So right now it's just updating the package. I'm going to pause this right now until it's done doing that and show you the next step, because there's really not too much that goes on the screen. So let's go ahead and pause. Okay, so this is the first thing you see after it pulls all the packages and everything it needs to do. And pretty much this is it. It's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to install and transform your device into a network-wide ad blocker. So let's go ahead, hit OK. Pi-hole's free, powered by your donation. So please, if you use this, go ahead and donate. Okay, and Pi-hole server needs a static IP. So we're going to hit OK, and we're going to wait, and here we go. So now what it's doing is asking what main DNS. So this is basically going to pull all the information from whichever DNS that you choose here. I usually choose Cloudflare, which is your 1.1.1.1, and it's going to use Cloudflare for your DNS queries. So we're going to hit OK. And now these are all of the different blocking repos it has here. So we're just going to leave all of them. I'm going to hit OK. And then it's going to ask, do you want to block over IPv4, IPv6? I'm just going to leave both of them on. And OK. And then it's telling us here what the IP address is of the device and what the gateway is, which this is set up the way we want. So we're going to hit yes. And, this is just a little warning that you might have an IP conflict, but I already have everything set up, so my Raspberry Pi will always grab that address. So we're going to hit OK. Do you want the web admin interface, which I suggest? Like right now, my Raspberry Pi is headless, and this makes it pretty easy to set everything up. You could do everything through your terminal, but this makes it a lot easier, so we're going to go OK. And do you want to install the web server? We are going to do OK. And do you want to log queries? If you don't want to, just set it to off. I'm just going to leave it on so I can show you some of the different techniques that it does and the logging information. So we're going to hit OK. And you want to show everything, hide domains and clients, anonymous mode. These are basically in the logs. Like if you do anonymous mode, it's going to show you the queries, but it's not going to show you which clients and IP addresses on your system. But I'm going to show everything because I want to know if, you know, one of my Android devices is, you know, going out and blocking a lot of ads, or, you know, one of my laptops. So I'm going to do show everything. And now it's going to go through, and this doesn't take too long now. We're waiting. Okay. Setting up all the services. Haven't done this in a while, so not sure exactly how long it takes. I'm going to pause here and then come back when it's the next step. Okay, so that didn't take too long. It took maybe about a minute or so. Okay, so this is basically telling us that configure your devices to use this as the Pi-hole server. Right here it tells you how to log into it from basically if you're on the device you would log in with this. If you're on another device like we are now, you would log in with this. Basically this, well, I'm going to show you that, but you're also like this address here, obviously right here too. That's the address you're going to now change your DNS to point to. And then right now I already had it installed, but over here you would have a little temporary password here that you'd want to change later on. So we're going to go ahead and press OK, and we are complete. So let's go ahead, and now here is my router that we're using. So I'm going to log into my router here, and you're going to find, now every router is going to be different, but you're going to find your DHCP settings here. And right now I'm on just regular Cloudflare. So before I enable this, if you look here, now I had to turn off everything, all my blockers and stuff to show this, but if you scroll down on this site, ad blockers /testing, and you'll see I have an ad here, and here's another ad. So before we change everything, we're getting ads. So what we're going to do is in here, we're going to change this to the IP address of, in my case, a Raspberry Pi or whichever device. So we're going to choose that, and we're going to take out any other DNS here, and we'll hit save and OK. And this needs to reboot, so I'm going to pause the video while it's rebooting. Okay, so that's rebooted. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so now here's the site, and we're still going to leave all the regular protections off. We're going to now redo the site, and where are the ads? There are no ads. So, and this works now on YouTube. That's the only place where, since they changed the ad server so frequently, sometimes it blocks it, sometimes it doesn't. But most sites, like any news sites or anything, you're not going to get any more ads. So that's a good thing. So let's go ahead. We're going to, and you can see I don't have any of my tracking protection or anything like that. I have my uBlock origin. It's turned off, and we're not getting any ads. So let's go into the configuration page, the admin page. What was the address? It should be 105, and go in. And oh, did you mean to go to the admin page? Yes, I did. Okay, here we go. And this is what you see. Before you even log in, you kind of see these are how many domains are on the block list. The percentage blocked, queries blocked, and how many clients I have connected and the total of queries. So this is a nice quick overview. If you go into login, and right, password's already in there, log in. Now you also get clients over time. You get queries answered by, and if it's a block list from cache, and if it's Cloudflare stuff. And let's see, so this is going to tell you the top permitted domains, the top block domains, and if you can see here, these are all ad domains, except for GRC. I was testing blocking sites, which I'm going to show you, which is pretty cool. And then the most requests from each one of the IP addresses on the machine. So you also have a query log, which I don't think I had this running. Yeah, I had it running long enough. So you could come in here, and if you see something like this CDN, if I want to blacklist it, I could go ahead and blacklist it. You got long-term data with graphics, which I do not have anything in here because I did not have this running long enough. Same with query log and top lists. Actually, top list might have, nope, nothing. Here's a whitelist. So if there was a website that you needed whitelisted, you could put it in here. Blacklist. So basically, like, let's say I don't want facebook.com, which I don't. So I could add a wildcard. So anything with facebook.com in the address will be blocked. So if I go here now, and I go to Facebook, and that's it. It's not here. It's gone. No more Facebook. And if I take it out, which I do not suggest that. If you put Facebook in there, that's a good thing. If you take it out, probably not so good. So if I do try again, oh look, Facebook is here. So I'm actually going to put that back in. Facebook.com and add wildcard. So that's in there. So you could, if you're setting this up for children and you did not want anyone going to, let's say, facebook.com, because that's a good one that you should not let anybody go to, then you could add it in here, hit a wildcard, and now they cannot go to facebook.com. This would also work for, if you had this in a work environment and you don't want people going to certain sites, you could blacklist those sites. So let's see, you could disable it permanently, 10 seconds. So let's say you did want to go on, or let's say, you have a child and they want to be able to go to a certain site. Let's say, we'll use facebook.com for instance. You could set a custom time and give them in like minutes. Right now, by default, it's an hour. So, okay, you have an hour of FaceTime. There you go. But this also blocks everything. So if there was any other, websites that you did not want someone to go on, they could go on to it during this time. And you could also enable. So now it's back enabled. A few other tools here. You can update the gravity, look at your query lists, like search around through the query list. So if I want to look for Facebook, over 100 results found for Facebook. So, yeah, basically you could look at, how many queries are for there. Let's, I've never really played with this. Let's go. All invalid domain. There we go. So, okay, so these are all of the addresses for Facebook, it looks like. I'm going to have to play around with that. I've never really played with any of these tools, to be very honest. So I'm not sure what they really do. But anyway, let's go into network here. And this is going to show all of the addresses I have on my network. And then if I go into settings here, Here we go. So in here, DHCP, you can actually have this as your DHCP server. So you could bypass your router and have this as your server for DHCP. You could set that up as well. Also, your DNSs. So if you wanted to add another DNS or change a DNS, you could go in here and do that as well. Let's say Cloudflare's not giving you the DNS results you want, you could change it to something else. And I mean, there's a lot of options in here. It's fun to play around, and you don't want to play around too much unless you know what you're doing, because you could break things. But pretty much I leave it all default, really. I might go in there and change one or two of the blacklists from time to time, but yeah, this is pretty much Pi-hole. One of the easiest setups I've ever had to deal with, and it works really well. So if you have any questions, let me know. And that's all for today.